That little guest appearance there by...
Yeah. I hope he doesn't try to charge me for an appearance fee.
Yeah. I don't know if we can afford it. All right, I'm back for a little while yet. Wes is still here waiting. He's hovering. He wants to get back on and talk to you guys. Look at that view of the room there, huh? Is that we live?
Just so you know.
Nice.
I know.
So you can see the room there, kind of, guys. We got the pool tables in the back, and it's a nice room. A lot of room here. Getting ready to get going. Clint's playing well. Chad's playing well. Chad, not a guy we usually see up here, but
yeah, Chad's a really good player. But you know, I talked about this the other day with somebody too. You know, a lot of these players that you see on the leaderboard that are good are not necessarily good match play head-to-head players. I know when I was playing a lot of Golden Tee a couple of years ago, you know, I could play great when I'm by myself at a at a bar playing games. But as soon as I played with my buddy Brian Bernhardt, or come to a tournament, you know, I don't know if it's nerves or what. I mean, there's
pressure, whatever it is.
Nerves and pressure. You know, there's just a lot that can get to your head.
It's different for everybody, that's for sure. I'm probably like the opposite. I mean, I feel I'm a better match play player than I am just a go out and play player. So it is what it is. Everybody's different. You know how you handle it. All right, so of course we spin here. I wasn't watching. Sandhill again?
Yep, Sandhill. I don't know why I said again.
So well, because Clint just played Sandhill, and we just got done talking about how Clint really likes Sandhill. So
yeah, this is true. So this will be.
So I'm thinking that maybe advantage Clint, but who knows? Definitely not a get. That is a funny outfit.
Yeah, that's one of those.
Like, who thought it was a good idea to have that outfit? Yep.
So there's a handful of keyholes. I would probably say Sandhill might be one of the harder courses of 2019.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You're gonna want to have a zero hybrid on this course.
I like the 2-iron super spin. I think it's a must.
That's an option as well. But this is actually a really good look for this. Sometimes you get all the way behind the trees.
Yeah, it's almost straight ahead.
What is it? Hole 14, where you can skip it off the water most of the time, like in between the trees.
Yep.
That's going to be a key 2 hybrid or 0 hybrid hole, depending on the distance.
This is one of the better looks I've seen in this hole, like you said here.
Yeah,
a lot of
everyone's so used to.
Hole.
Everyone is so used to being behind those trees in that first box of tees. But
I just can't get over looking at this guy.
Oh,
his
Chad's
character. What do you call that? Not a character, but a
bodysuit.
No, not that. What's your dude called?
I mean, he called like an avatar.
Avatar. There you go.
I don't really call it that.
That's the word I was looking for. Maybe not the right word, but it's the word I was looking for.
Yes. I also just realized that he had a ball gag in his mouth. Yeah. So now I understand.
And pink shoes.
Hey, you know what? That's the one thing with Golden Tee is we'll give you plenty of options no matter what you're into.
That's for sure. And Clint's wearing bunny feet. All right, so this is going to be a good match. I got a feeling we should see some good Golden Tee. I don't think we have to apologize for, like Luna did for his last match. It was still a good match. Paul felt the need to to let you guys know that they felt bad. Who was that from?
Huh? No, I was literally like, that's me to you.
I got you. That was a message you couldn't say out loud.
Right.
Sorry.
Just one of those.
Doesn't make for very good radio here, but...
No, but it made me laugh, and I had to say it.
Can we go toast the live stream here?
Painter Jim. What are you doing? Drunk.
Shocking.
A member from Team Wisconsin has been drinking. Weird. Have we drank the bottle of Busch Light yet?
I will go check.
Better yet, do you have a Busch Light that I could drink?
I'll go get us Busch Lights.
We might have a bucket yet if you want to take a look. Just grab a random bucket. I don't care whose it is. Let's shout out to my buddy Brian Roski. That's what he does. He's never out of beer. He just finds somebody else's.
That's theft.
I think so, too. I tell him that all the time.
Admitting to all these felonies live on the...
Whoa. I didn't do any of that.
No, I'm just kidding.
Don't come get me. I don't need to be in jail.
Now, I do I do have to point out that Chad is playing exceptionally well based on what he posted on Golden Tee Fan earlier today. Which,
So,
well, damn it, and I did it again.
so I was outside earlier. And Chad came out, and I go, "How you feeling?" He goes, "How do I look?" I'm like, "Oh, not too bad." Well, then he goes, "That's exactly not how I feel." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, I'm starting to be able to function a little." I'm like, "Really?" Apparently, Chad had himself a rough night.
Well, he posted the green throw-up emoji on Golden Tee Fan. And I'm going to stop talking about people. I'm just going to get off the stream and go home because
He sucked after you
I
hit-
said, Chad's playing pretty well for
And then
not
he hits
feeling
it in the
good. And then he hit a tree.
Where did Clint end
So
up there?
Clint got real lucky. They're both chipping in for eagle with not ideal setups. Clint did a 3-wood
I covered it around.
C3, but
can't believe he didn't.
it hit a tree, but it just trickled down off of the rough.
Lucky.
But he's lucky that it stayed up there.
Lucky, that's right. So anyway, yeah, Chad played a lot of Golden Tee yesterday, hung out a little late at the bar and was enjoying himself. So, but hey, who cares? You should do that every time. I guarantee you he would.
No, I feel like he has
In
done
the
that every
top
time, and
four.
this is the first time he's.
Well,
in the
I'm saying,
top
I
four.
guarantee you he would do it every time if he knew he was going to make the top
Oh,
four.
yeah.
Oh, Clint Grover.
That's a
drilling
great
that chip.
He was really careful with that chip. I think did he use the 8 or 9?
I believe it is 8.
Because he had that lip of
Yep.
rough that he had to really be careful with. So
He pretty much just one-hopped her, almost
Yeah.
a dunk. Hey, I got an ultra yesterday from 27 yards away.
did you?
All right.
Which was the same on our last matches, but we both lost.
So we both, Russ Layton just comes over and lets me go. He goes, if you win your next match and I win my next match, we play. Which was the same scenario that we had if we both would have won, but we both lost. Awesome. I've been waiting a while.
They might just think you're out of the
They
tournament.
could get a guy drunk waiting this long to play a match. That's what happens. It's rigged, I tell you.
Yeah.
Chad unhappy there, but he's still. One stroke is not
Well,
the
that's
end of
the
this
thing.
match.
Chad is one of those guys that he can get himself riled up real quickly and in his own head.
You know what? Clint might be the coolest looking. Like, he doesn't really looks like he's flustered, but he can be that way too, honestly.
Yeah, no, Clint plays it really well. But the thing with Chad is, they both hit bad shots, and Clint just had a really good chip,
Yep.
So you just gotta breathe in, breathe out, and roll the punches.
Slow down. Great shot there. All right, so one stroke. It's on Sandhill, like we said. Clint loves his course. He'd be the first to tell you. I'm sure he'd be fine if he spun it every single time, but, probably won't happen. Loser. Oh, boy, that didn't come out good. Loser of this match is 4th place.
Yep.
And the winner will move on to play Andy Fox.
You know what we should do? We should, at one of these tournaments, we should let players choose their match play course for the at cost of a donation to charity or something, like $5 to choose your course, or whoever wants to
Or
pay
like
the
bid
most.
it up.
Yeah.
Like each guy. Like, hey, I want to play this course.
Yep.
$10. You want
Yep.
to bid more? That's a good idea. I'm sure we could find a notable charity to do that with. I got another great idea that I don't know if I should say, but I got to make this happen at a Golden Tee tournament. Can we not get a masseuse here?
That's actually a great idea. I was thinking about it.
Like, poker tournaments, they come around and massage while you're playing, or maybe you just set up a quick table and 15 minutes for $20 or something. I mean, telling you, they'd make a fortune here. So I'm going to work on that, just so you know. Maybe in Wisconsin. We should plug Wisconsin, huh?
Yeah.
We got tournaments coming up in, I think it's 1 month. I believe February 7th. No, I'm sorry, March 7th. I think it's the same dates as this tournament.
I say, wow, if we were going to be there in February.
Kevin's taking it. Kevin's looking it up right now just to.
I want to make sure we get the correct
Get
information.
the correct dates and everything.
March 7th through the 10th. So exactly 1 month from today, we'll be at Sussex, Wisconsin, at the Sussex Bowl. This is what, our 5th year there now, or is it
It's
longer?
the second PEGT there.
Yes,
But it's the Wisconsin Open has been running for this will be 12 years in a row. But I believe it's more than it's 7
about
or
the
8
six-
I think at Sussex.
Yeah, but Stefan is a great host, and
Yeah, great bar owner. He plays Golden Tee, which is rare for most of our locations. He's he's not a great Golden Tee player, but he's a good Golden Tee player.
Yeah, he plays
And
Golden Tee player.
He knows the players. He knows what the players want, and
Yeah, he knows he's got a great staff, a great kitchen.
yep, great food there. That food is unbelievable there. All the food at almost all of our Golden Tee locations is great.
It is true. He probably makes most of his costs back up in pool tabs But based on how much the players spend,
People love the
these
pull tabs in
tournaments,
Wisconsin.
If he doesn't have 4 pull tab machines in the tournament area, I'm disappointed.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a month.
And that stupid Wizard of Oz.
A month from this weekend, I expect another good turnout there. Man, we had a great turnout here this weekend. I don't know how much these guys have talked about it today. We didn't get to listen to the commentary. I'm sure Wes has talked about it, but 100 people in the main event. We had about 100 in the what's that thing
Handicap?
on Friday night? Handicap tournament on Friday night, and that's a great tournament for the Florida Open. Great tournament because
we beat the previous record by
20.
Yeah, almost 20.
Yeah, I've played in this 5 years in a row. The average down here has been about, I'd say 75-ish, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, I don't know who doesn't want to come to Florida in February because it is fantastic here. But
Yeah, and I was just looking at the Chicago weather thinking, man, I should not have canceled my Wednesday. I should have
we
kept my
fly
flight.
back in Tuesday, and I believe we're supposed to have some crazy snow again. Like,
Yeah,
I
I was getting weather alerts.
Yeah, and I'm still getting the weather alerts too. But we had some 50 below temperatures last week, and what a time to get away and come to Florida. That's all I know. So
Yeah, but if you want to do the opposite and you're tired of the hot weather, please come out to Sussex, Wisconsin.
We have some ski hills not far from there if you're interested in that kind of thing. But so typically it's something we could actually talk about. And typically the Wisconsin Open has always been about the third weekend in March. And Steve requested that we move it up to kind of get away from St. Patrick's Day weekend, and also to get a little more distance between our Wisconsin and St. Louis tournaments, as they're, geographically the same location, kind of the same player base and everything. So get a little more distance between. Hopefully most guys can make both events that way. So we did that. So it's a little earlier in March. They're hoping as much as we're hoping that the weather cooperates. March 7th, 10th, I mean, we could easily have 50-degree weather. We could easily have a foot of snow. So I would say that's about the turning point there in the weather for Wisconsin.
Bring your swimming trunks and a couple extra blankets.
Yeah, they're pretty good at predicting the weather. I'm sure you'll be fine, but we'll know. We'll know a couple weeks before, a week before, and worst case, you can see some pretty snow, I guess.
And play some pull tabs and play some
pull
GoldenTeeTV
tabs
and
and
some
GoldenTeeTV.
Wizard of Oz slot.
Anyway, I'm sure we'll have 100 people or so or whatever about there. It's a huge add-on. It's one of our biggest, if not the biggest add-on as far as a prize pool for the PGT. Stefan does an awesome job with that. And, it's kind of the prototypical what I guess the PGT looks for a bar, honestly. Huge bar, huge location, huge room, kind of off the beaten path from the rest of the bar, so you're not stumbling around a lot of other people. So, I don't know.
I was talking to a few people about that yesterday that have never been there. It's just a huge space, and it's perfect for what we do and everything we need.
This tournament here this might be my favorite. I don't know if it's better than Sussex, but it's as good. This room is humongous. It's huge. There's a ton of room here. The bar's right back here. It's a great location here.
Yeah,
as well.
Chris and his staff take care of us.
And the staff has been unbelievable this weekend. They
put up with a lot of us. A lot of our stuff.
And their food is fantastic here as well.
I know. I always tell myself at these tournaments, I'm going to stop eating the same dang thing. And then I come here, I try one or two things, and I'm like, you know what? I've loved this for the last 3 years. I'm going to order it 8 more times.
I go up. I've done this 3 times now. I've ate here 3 times, and asked Megan, the bartender, just pick me something, because she's got it, and she's giving me something different every time, and it's been awesome. But I'm the guy that'll eat anything, so I take her opinion and see what it is, and then eat it. So it's been awesome.
So really quickly,
where are we at here in this match?
So Clint just had a shot. I don't think he realized he was hitting the 2 hybrid. I'm not sure, but his shot went way left. I mean, he's lucky he didn't
maybe
get
he thought
wet.
it was a 6-wood.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that's what he's saying, because as soon as he hit it, I mean, it was a bad shot from the get-go, but you could see the look on his face, like, what the heck just happened?
So he's got a tough chip from over there.
But the nice thing is for him, unless I've missed something while we were talking about
he's still up 1.
Wisconsin, he's still up 1. So
this is makeable.
Yeah, I would say this isn't a bad chip, but you got to be careful. Clint is one of those players. I don't think I've ever seen Clint. Clint is really good in the sense of, if he misses a chip or misses a putt, very rarely do you see him the reaction to that in his next shot.
Right.
Some players
angrily go up and putt that.
because then you accidentally miss another shot and then you're down more strokes. this is the hole I was talking about. The zero hybrid, I always tell people is needed. I know some people use the 8.5 driver.
It's a zero bird almost every time, unless it's a short setup, and then it's like the 2-iron or something.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. But Clint doesn't play a zero, by the way. We didn't talk about this, but he loves Sandhill. It's his favorite course, but he doesn't play a zero bird. So
wow, he
does that low 3 almost every time.
He flirted with that tree a bit more than I was liking.
He nails the putt. But yeah, he doesn't play a zero, which most of the holes you can get by without that zero, especially for a guy like Clint who plays so many games and knows most of the shots on these courses now.
Now I'll tell you what, we talked a little bit about Clint's match with Andy Fox earlier, and one of the things I said to Adam on the side was, it's so nerve-wracking to be going in the lead on hole 18 when it's a terrible setup.
Right.
And, it's funny, he missed his chip on that bad tee shot on the par 3, but now Chad is the one that's teeing off on all these holes.
Yep.
So I feel like, obviously he didn't do it on purpose, but I feel like he gave a little bit more pressure on,
it's a good shot
on
here.
Chad. And now he's got a perfect chip for, well, not a perfect chip, but an easy, makeable chip for Eagle. But he puts the pressure on
back
Chad
on
Hart.
Yep. That was a tough shot there for Chad to get close, or to make, I should say. So he just threw it up there. Clint's going to knock that in. Yep.
So Clint is back.
Clint's back up one.
Yep.
Got one hole that lasted, but always great hearing Fitz on the broadcast, except he said Fritz. There's no R in there, brother. No R in Fitz. We'll let that go, though.
I was just upset that he didn't mention me.
Oh, yeah. Modio. He's a buddy of mine. He's from Wisconsin.
Nah, it's okay. I don't like anybody. Well, I can't say I don't like anybody from Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's just, hey, nice seeing the chat back up, by the way. Come to the NIV, Adam. You can see what a great wait staff. Yeah, I know. I get it. I haven't been to the NIV. John Remmel, it's on my to-do list, okay? It's just not good timing for me. I want to get there. I hear that all the time, and I know it. I feel bad for not being there yet. So I'll make it happen one of these times. It might even be this year. We'll see. That's a crazy-looking place, by the way. I've never been to Richmond or whatever, but the bar looks like it's the exact opposite of the two bars we were just talking about to me.
Yes, it is. But thankfully, Hefe, he's been doing Golden Tee tournaments for I don't know how long. I think
16 years, I believe.
This will be the 17th NIV. And it's to the point where, we're starting to spill out into other rooms of the Baja Bean.
Whew.
Because we are just, players our player base is growing. Steve and Paige and Russ and the Power Events team, they're getting more players to these tournaments. But that's always a good problem to have.
It is.
And Hefe, we talked about this the other night in some random conversations. If you're available in October, all these tournaments are great. They all have their own, positives and their own differences. But NIV, I think, one, it stands out to anybody from the 4 era of Golden Tee or the live era.
Get over there.
Oh, I thought he was trying to play that on purpose. But
I think he might have been, maybe.
But it bounced too far to the right.
It kicked right and stayed right. And it's not an easy shot here. 13-mile wind.
Yeah, but luckily Chad was in that 5 hybrid, so I know.
This is a tricky shot here.
Yeah.
This is sketchy here. I mean,
you got to be careful because there's technically a little blip in the hill.
Yep. Nope.
Oh, shoot.
So now we're going to be, we'll see. There's a tough putt by both guys coming back here.
So I would say Sandhill 18 is not one of the hardest holes, but it can set up pretty nasty. Now let's see if Chad, he almost missed that. But now Chad's back on the lead. It's kind of similar to what I was just saying about Fitz.
Yep.
So this is actually a really good setup. They got to be careful of those hanging branches. But I'll tell you what, I bring this up every time we talk about hole 18. This was 100 times harder than what you guys see now. It was flipped the other way, and you were hitting around trees all the time.
Oh, really?
I mean, we had to convince Jim Zielinski to make this course as hard as it is. Like,
this is still hard.
We need to free it up a little bit.
One of the hardest holes of 18 for sure. Oh, we got a couple guys talking about Richmond still, but let's finish up this hole here.
Yeah, we'll get back to that as we transition. So Chad, he's thinking in his head, he's got to. I'm sure, just like many of us,
I bet he's wishing Clint was first.
Yeah, I bet you he's clipped these little. You can't really see me pointing except Adam, but
there's a little tree hanging there at the top of the screen. You can see hanging down. And if you don't, you could play this shot without a cutter and actually get it over there. But I think the safer shot will be to cut it in here a little bit. And honestly, that's probably the shot to get it to come back to the hole anyway. So it's a tough shot. It's a matter of how much you're going to cut this and not overcut it so much that you lose some distance. So we'll see what he does. He's going to take some time, and he should. We got a minute here if he's not going to hit. So the Richmond things, Mark Tate says free beer on Friday, taco hamburger bar, whole pig on Friday, whole pig on Sunday, he means. And Mark Tate is there too, so it's a win-win, right? And Frackie's Frank. Can you read that name?
Frackie's Fink.
Anyway, super excited to come to Wisconsin. Thanks for moving the date. So we did move the date. Some of the bar owners like that. Oh my God!
Wow. Yeah,
Look at Clint's face. Look at Clint's face. He's just like. Look at Clint's face. He's just like smirking.
I don't know if you heard that, but I mean, wow.
Clint just walks up and hits this like nothing. Did you see that?
Yeah, and he did the same thing, but his is a little bit harder of a.
So Clint sat there while obviously he was thinking about his shot and he knew what he wanted to do, but this is a tough putt. He missed it. That's going to be the game. Wow, disappointing for Clint and great win for Chad there.
Yeah, I mean,
Chad's pumped.
You know, he has to be. He got a very generous bounce on hole 18. I mean,
Sure
I wish we had the ability to roll back, because when he hit that rough, and if we paused it, the look on his face.
How many times does that ever go up on the green from there? You know?
Yeah.